Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to round number 9 of the 2021 UK&I Monday Night Skippys, live here on RaceSpotTV in support of the Calm Zone, the campaign against living miserably. Tonight we are going down to Australia to Mount Panorama in Bathurst for 10 laps around this 23-turn, 3.86 mile long circuit over the mountain and back down again. Pretty average day again, 18 degrees Celsius in the air, 27 degrees on the track with clear skies and 13 km/h wind as of now. Again, a stacked field here with 38 small skippies coming around the track, and halfway through qualifying, just 2 minutes left actually, Leah Hughes is leading the way ahead of Simonson and Will Redford. But everybody's still got at least one more lap to go, so it's still far from over. My name is Linus Broström, and I'm joined as always by Ryan Walker. And Ryan, how many cars will die on lap 1 today?
Yeah, it's one of those questions that we always seem to ask ourselves when never we visit Bathurst, isn't it? It's a great track, don't get me wrong, but when it comes to racing and having such a large pack of cars, I should say, it's yes, it's always inevitable. It's going to be an accident, especially across the mountain section.
It's really, really tight, just like a street circuit, but it's actually not, and all those blind corners. Something's bound to happen when you have these many cars, but we'll see. We might get lucky today and have all 38 cars complete the first lap. Lea's though still leading the way. We're following, not him here, I believe that would be, trying to figure out a number. That's Benny Simonson in third, number 25. He's coming into the final corner here, see what sort of time he will do. He's currently in third, coming up to the finish line, and he will improve. He's gonna put it on provisional pole for now. Lee Hughes though is still on his lap. He's got half the lap still to go, but only 40 seconds, so he is not gonna have time to do that. Adam Miles completes his second lap to put it in fourth, and the only driver I believe that's got time to do anything to Benny Simonson would be maybe George Mattock, but I believe he's too far away as well. We're coming down to 25 seconds to go here. It is not going to be enough for anybody to make the start-finish line here. Dave Dowson is coming up on it as well here on his third lap, but he's all the way down in 19th, so seeing him coming all the way up to the lead, I doubt will happen. 10 seconds to go, and it is not going to be enough for anybody, so Benny Simonson is going to take pole position here today by the looks of it. Coming into the final corner here is Dave Dowson just as the time runs out, so 10 more seconds and he would have had a chance, but he will not. So qualifying is over and it's time to go through today's starting lineup. Benny Simonson starts on pole position with a 2:30.259 ahead of Leah Hughes in second, with Will Redford in third, Adam Miles in fourth, with Ewan Pattinson in fifth, Simon Edwards in sixth, Anthony P.M. Jones in seventh, James McRitchie in eighth, Daniel Hunt in ninth, and Clark Williams rounding out the top 10. Then we have Daniel Tubbs, Ben Evans, Nathan Wade in 13th, Nicholas Von Roberts 14th, Seth Brown in 15th, George Mattock in 16th, Andrew Bernowski 17th, Ray Peasley in 18th, Dave M. Dowson in 19th, and Dave Kirkman in 20th. Then it's Mark Langford, Alan Patterson, Peter Parnell, Tim Adcock, Chris Kane, Andrew Bertie, Luke Ashton Jones, Dave Clapham, Tony Stack, Christopher Miles in 30th, Neil M. Andrews, Peter Cohen, Callum Barron, Chris Knox, Cesar Rizzo, Neil McGinty, Louis Morga, and then at the back it is Mark Cadmore. So 38 cars lining up here today. The last 8 failed to set a time, which proves just how tricky this track is to get right. So cars are lining up here, still about 40 seconds left until they all have to be on the grid, and they seem to be waiting very, very long, all of them. Now pole sitter got on the grid there as well. Actually, that's my bad, because they're only using one car per lane. They're not lining up side by side here. So pretty much everybody is on the grid. Just waiting here now for the last few cars to get on it, and we will be going. Benny Simonson though with the pole position. Will he be able to get the best getaway here and hold on to that lead? coming out of turn 1 you get onto the first straight, and the draft there is massive. Here we go, red lights are on, a green flag is out, and we are racing at Bathurst. Benny Simonson gets a great getaway there ahead of Leus, and everybody seems to be very spread out. They're so far apart on the grid here. There's no real possibility to do anything into the first corner unless somebody makes a mistake, or you're way further back in the field and have a long run down to turn 1. Patterson and Parnell side by side further back. Now here comes Simon Edwards with a run on Ewan Pattinson for P5. He's going to move out and have a look, but up ahead of them, nothing really going on. So Simon Edwards is going to move up into 5th position, and he will be clear by the time they get to turn number 2, and they're coming up the mountain for the first time.
Yep, they're heading up on the run up to the cut-in as well, and it's such a tricky corner with a big pack of cars as they head up now, and they're all pretty much line astern at the moment. Oh, Benny Simpson clipped the inside wall.
See what sort of damage that will do. He is still going though, might not have been too severe, we'll have to see. If he damaged that suspension though, he's going to have issues coming back down the hill, and we've already got a bit of a gap here between 12th and 13th. So probably had some scraps back there as George Mattock has actually gained 3 positions up into P13, which could be the cause of that. Also Daniel Tufts, who started in 11th, is down in 34th, so he's had a bit of an issue. But back at the front here, Benny Simonson still leading the way ahead of Lees. Will Redford now coming down the hill for the first time down through these tricky tight S's. You can see them almost lifting off here, and the track is so tight, it just goes back and forth now as we come down to the dipper into Forest Elbows and onto the straightaway for the first time. And this is where we're going to see a lot of passes, especially on the last lap. This straight is so long. If you get it right, you might be able to draft past the leader and then get passed back again. So definitely going to see 3 wide here on the final lap if there are enough cars with the chance to win. Now though, it's Will Redfield looking up the inside of Leus. He's going to box him in behind Simonson, so no option there to go 3 wide. Will Redford stays close to Simonson to block that gap for Leus. He's going to pass both cars. Will Redford is going to be into the lead. Benny Simonson right on his tail going into the chicane though, but he will hold on to 2nd place. Simonson, Leus behind him, and Miles is still in 4th. So nothing really going on back there. James McRitchie has had a little incident with Daniel Hunt, and he is off in the gravel though, so he will be dropping way down the order as he gets going again. He is he's out of the top 20. He's still dropping down the order there, James McRitchie, but it looks like he will hold on to P21 actually, so see if he got any damage from that, as Adcock and Tony Stack are going at it as well here for 22nd and 23rd. Further back down the field, you can see them coming side by side across the line here, but at the front now is Benny Simonson looking at Will Redford. What will he be able to do as they come up mountain straight here up to Quarry to make the right-hander up onto the mountain? It looks like Benny Simonson will actually be clear by the time they get to turn number 2, and back up the hill again they come.
Yep, as yet again they head up to on the run to the cut-in, and it looks like Redford is trying to make a move and trying to retake the lead, but there's no way you can make a move up there unless you're feeling brave. And it looks like Benny Simpson's retook the lead, but waiting in the wings you've got Lear Hughes and Adam Miles and Simon Edwards, and also by the looks of it Ewan Patterson, and it's a bit of a trend starting to form with these guys scrapping away.
These first 7 cars have pulled away. They've got 2.7 seconds from Anthony P.M. Jones in 7th down to Ben Evans in 8th, so there's been some scrapping going on back there, and you know that Evans is quick enough to keep up with these front guys, but for something must have happened there for him not to be able to keep up. He's already made up 4 positions though, leading this group ahead of Ron Roberts, who started 14th. He's made up 5 positions, so these guys are definitely going at it, but now they will have to work together if they're going to have any chance of catching these leaders. That last lap they lost 2.3 seconds going up through the field as we're on, but here with Kirkman, he almost runs into the car in front of him there. That would be David Dowson, but he does an amazing job to not run into him. So they're still going to be going here. They got Peasley ahead of him as well, and Nathan Wade leading the way. He's had contact with the wall. He's missing both his left side wheels. He's going to pound the fence or concrete wall. He's going to stay off to the left. Amazing job from him keeping the car out of the way, and the race is going to be over for him. Peter Parnell lost some momentum there. They're having to lift out for that, so Tony Stack is going to come through. Back down the straight now, though. He's going to get some draft, but at the front, the leaders are going at it. Will Redford back to the lead again. Benny Simonson is right there. Lee Hughes as well, but you don't want to make any moves this late, so the front 7 are still in a train. And the guys behind there, Vaughan Robertson, Ben Evans, they're working together, switching positions, coming down the straight to see if they will be able to catch up to these guys, see what the time difference is at the start-finish line. But if you're a NASCAR driver, you know that 7 cars on a super speedway, which that straightaway is pretty much like, is way faster than 2 or 3. So they're definitely going to have to work together better than what they currently are. Will Redford holding on to the lead. You can see them back there. They're almost going side by side down the front straightaway. And that time by, they were pretty much tied on time. So they are still 2.7 seconds behind, and that is not going to be enough. But one little scrap here at the front coming up over the mountain, and that gap could disappear just as quickly as it came to life, as Benny Simonson is on the outside again, passing Will Redford. Simon Edwards goes behind him as well. Lee Hughes is in behind Will Redford. Where will they go? Simon Edwards looks like he's going to try to back out. They're going to be side by side. Edwards is going to go wide. Will Redford is going to hold it in there. He's going to get the lead back. Benny Simonson has the overspeed though coming up the hill. Now he's got the inside fork cutting, but Redford on the outside is not going to give it up. They make contact behind their. Pattinson runs into the back of the 85 of Adam Miles, and nearly does it twice, but no harm there. I don't think it was just a very light tap, but Will Redford comes through to the lead. He managed to still hold off Benny Simonson on the outside around the cutting, and that is probably one of the greatest moves we've seen so far in this race, but still a long way to go. So I think we can expect to see a lot more of that from these guys. They are definitely not holding back here today.
I'm amazed that none of these guys ended up having contact on the run up to the cut, and that was amazing stuff by all of them to keep out of trouble as they head over Skyline now. And one of the most difficult sections to get right because they're carrying so much speed, and then all of a sudden you've got to slow the car right down while you're kind of going over the bump. So it's when it comes to car control, it can be a bit difficult. But Will Redford at the moment actually starting to pull away and pull up, but form a bit of a gap. But down this straight now, that gap will probably come down due to the slipstream and draft, as it looks like Daniel Tufts has had issues on the run up to Griffin's.
I believe that might have been a replay of what happened to him on the first lap, where he made contact and got spun out, but he didn't hit the wall. He's still going in 26th position, so nothing major for him there, as Nicholas Vaughan Roberts has had contact with the wall in the dipper and Forest Elbow, and he is going to be out of this race. And now there is just 6 cars at the front, and as I say that, no, sorry, Vaughan Roberts was further back. I mixed him up with PM Jones. Sorry about that. We get Vaughan Roberts here on his own. He goes in the wall, comes across the track. Ooh, makes contact with the next car. That is unfortunate, but I think that car will be able to keep on going. Still 7 cars here in the lead group, and because of that battling that they did, the gap down to Ben Evans and Clark Williams came down slightly. Now Evans is on his own, as he was with Vaughan Roberts, so that's where he crashed out from. Now Ben Evans still 2.2 seconds back. If he's on his own down straight, he's going to lose all the time that he gained coming up the mountain, but he had gained over 1.5 seconds from that battling that was going on ahead. So still anything can happen, as we see Mark Cadmore here flying over the wall, almost comes across the track and stops by the wall. Good job again there to not take anybody with him. Now the leader is coming down the straight again. Benny Simonson has taken over the lead. Now coming back up the hill, see what they can do. Redford looks to the outside. He's not going to get up next to him. Will he look to the inside? Miles and PM Jones behind, almost side by side, but Miles comes ahead there. Don't really want to be side by side coming around here. That'll kill your momentum instantly. So smart move there to go single file, coming back up through Griffin's Mount, over Reed Park and into Frog Hollow. So many corners here in one single corner around this track. It's crazy, as Will Redford goes a little bit wider. I think he might have had slight contact with the wall, but not enough to damage his cars. I don't think that would probably not even have been a 0x contact there. So very, very light. It looks to the outside here of Simonson coming down to the assist, but he decides to stay behind again, making a move into there. That's pretty much recipe for disaster.
It is, as they come through now and heading down to Forest Elbows, and this corner here, it tempts you to carry so much more speed, but if you do that, you'll go offline ever so slightly. And most of the time, as we saw with Nick Vaughan Roberts, he clipped the wall, and as he head down Conrad Straight now, it's we've still got this big pack or big lead battle going on, and it looks like Will Redford's got the run on Simonson. Will Simonson try and defend? I don't think he's going to do it at the moment, and Will Redford is using the slipstream and going for the lead, and it looks like he's retook the lead, but behind these guys you've got Lear Hughes and Hugh and Batson battling for third place at the moment as well.
Good job by these guys again. Single file now coming into the chase here. Turn 20, 21 and 22, and then into Murray's corner, the final one. No real battling going on here. And Ben Evans, he had gained time again coming over the mountain, but then down the straightaway he loses over half a second, so there is literally nothing he can do unless these guys get properly stuck in when he's on his own, and he's somehow managing to pull away from Clark Williams and Daniel Hunt behind as well. So Ben Evans for now is stuck in 8th position unless something happens. But Will Redford back to the lead, coming around turn 1 here, Hell Corner, then up Mountain Straight, and now we're going to see Benny Simonson once again getting a good run. Lap car coming out of the pits there, but he's still staying well out of the way. Maybe that could be to help for Ben Evans if he gets up to speed and is able to stay ahead of Ben all the way around the mountain. Here comes Benny though to the outside of Will Redford. He's hugging that grass on the inside. We're on board now with Simon Edwards, who is the last car in this group. Simonson is through on Redford. Ewan Pattinson comes through there as well around the outside. He goes around Leah Hughes. He's not going to get Will Redford though. Redford is going to get somehow up the outside again now. Benny Simonson coming up into the cutting. He made it last time he tried it, but this time he will back in behind her, side by side further back there. That would be Pattinson and PM Jones. PM Jones gets ahead of Pattinson, sorry, gets ahead of PM Jones. So once again there's single file coming over the mountain, which is probably the smartest way to go. And once again Ben Evans closes in a few tenths, but coming onto Conrod Straight that time will just disappear once more. Coming over the hill now, down over Skyline into the S's. No moves. They're having peaks there. It looks like they definitely want to try and make the moves, but they just can't do it down there. It will absolutely destroy your race if you go side by side through there and make the tiniest bit of contact, as there is absolutely no runoff. And look just how tight they go around the corners here, coming down to the Dipper, which is very, very tricky corner, and then Forest Elbow on to Conrod Straight. Benny Simonson leading this time. Will Redford will most certainly come through, and Leah Hughes might as well. We will have to see. But here comes Will Redford. I'm going to get side by side really early, and it looks like Leah Hughes might not be getting as much draft as he would have expected, or he's lifting out. Here he comes though. He's going to look to the inside. He's going to back out. He wants to sit back there. He does not want to get involved. Does not want to put it 3 wide, as Will Redford is not able to clear Benny Simonson until very late. Pattinson gets involved there as well, but he is not going to make a move. So these 7 cars still working together as we're coming to complete lap number 5. It's going to be halfway this time by the start finish line, and it's going to be Will Redford leading at the halfway mark. Simon Edwards still sitting back there in 7th position, just waiting for something to happen. But when it's go time for him, expect him to be up in the front 2-3 positions within a lap, because Simon Edwards definitely knows what he's doing. So when he's had enough, he will just drive past these guys on the straights in no time.
Yeah, well, Simon Edwards is always known for not doing that great in qualifying, but when it comes to the race, he slowly makes progress, and at the moment he's sitting there just waiting in this pack, just watching what's going on and just maybe planning what he's going to do. And again, it looks like the lead's about to change as Simonson goes to the outside this time on the run up to Griffin's Bend, and it looks like is he going to take the lead? Yeah, he takes the lead, but Redford doesn't make it easy, and Simonson gets a bit of a slow momentum on the exit there, and they're heading up to the cutting now, and these guys are starting to get more and more feisty now as the race goes on, and I think the person that's just watching there in the box seat is Simon Edwards, so keep an eye on him.
The problem with being back there on this track, if something happens ahead of you and there are cars blocking the track, you have absolutely nowhere to go. So if something happens, he better hope that they stay off to the side, or he is going to be right in the middle of it. But hopefully nothing happens and we can have this 7-car battle coming to the end. You see Redford, they're high on the curb up ahead as we are on board here with that would be Ewan Pattinson in 4th position, no, 5th position actually, PM Jones that is. The blue car ahead is Pattinson. Keep getting them mixed up. The U's now looking, somebody locks up there coming into the beginning of the S's. That looked like it could have been a lot worse than it was, but it keeps on going side by side as well, further back in the field. That is, looks like Dowson, Langford, Stat, Kirkman and Peasley coming down the hill 14th through 18th. So they're having a good battle now coming down through the S's. But again, you don't really want to make a move here as the leaders are coming down Conrod Straight once again. And this time they're a bit more spread out. Pattinson is on the back of Leah Hughes now. He's going to have a look for third position. Here comes Redford. He's going to have a look on Simonson. And he will take the lead here with ease coming through the first part of the chase. Now it cuts back to the left, but they're still going to be side by side behind. Will Redford gets the lead though from Simonson there, who backed out quite a lot. Now they're side by side once more. So for second position actually, that's Pattinson and Simonson. Now my overlay has gone to sleep, so I can't really see. There we go, it's updated again. Pattinson and Simonson side by side, but to get back single file. This second group now coming down to the chase as well. They're going side by side. Car in the grass there. That's Dowson in the grass. Oh, gonna be straight on as well for Mark Langford. That is, goes straight across. That's going to give him a slowdown. The other cars just come flying by here. Kirkman, Peasley and Stack actually going to stay behind. So I think he got away with one there, Langford. He's going to get that penalty served quickly. But that could have been a lot worse than what it actually was.
Yeah, you don't want to get a massive slowdown around Bathurst, especially if you cut the track like that massively, because the time you lose massive time around here, and you can gain or lose several positions as well. As it looks like Stony Stack rather is going for a move and maybe trying to go for 17th at the moment. It might even try and get 16th at the end of the straight. But yeah, we've not just got battles up at the front, but as usual in the Monday night Skippies, we've got battles going on in the midfield as behind these guys as well. We've got I'm not sure that is, but we've got some cars closing down in this pack as well. And oh, I think that was a bit of contact there.
3 wide into the quarry here, and now those two cars behind Cowan and Andrews, they closed up in no time because of these guys. And there is some contact. That would be Dave Kirkman, who made contact with Peter Cowan, I believe that was. So they're going to back out massively. It looks like they're not wanting to go forwards at all here, looking like they're almost stopped, but still keeping up with the guys ahead. So Langford still leading this group now after that slowdown. He was able to get back going. Tony Stack right behind him. Here is Dave Kirkman and Neil Andrews at the back of that field. Now on board here with Tony Stack, coming down towards Skyline and the S's here in just a few seconds. You'll see just how tight it is and how close to the wall they actually go. So tempting to make a move coming down there, but you just cannot do it now. Seeing Langford here and these guys right behind. One mistake from any of these guys and the rest are just going to be in it right away. Meanwhile, we have another pass for the lead here. Pattinson passing Redford. Here comes Simon Edwards as well. Benny Simonson, sorry, he gets a bit wobbly on the curbs though. That's going to force him to slow down. He almost runs into the side of Redford, who's going to hold on to second position now, coming to complete lap number 7. Which means that we will have 3 laps to go for our leaders, as our second or third group rather cut further back in the field here, going on to the straight as well. Adcock, Tufts, Parnell, Langford and Patterson. But back to our leaders here. Move again for Will Redford. 3 laps to go this time by. He's looking up the inside of you, and Pattinson is gonna, not gonna be close enough. He's gonna slot in behind. He knows that on the next straight he will definitely get enough of a slipstream to make that pass. Now Pattinson is gonna hug the grass on the right side. You do not want to let anybody in there. If you can help it, you want to have them on the.
Yep, there's a head up Mountain Straight now, and it looks like we've got a change of the lead going on, and it looks like Patterson's about to lose it to Redford, and also it looks like Benny Simpson is possibly trying to gain a position as well, but he can't really do anything because as Redford and Patterson get so close to end up making contact, and yeah, I'm amazed that they never.
Back up the hill again. They're still side by side back there for 5th and 6th position. PM Jones and Simon Edwards, who is going to give. At the moment it looks like PM Jones is going to have the advantage of being on the inside there, and he is going to get ahead of Simonson, who will back out as little as possible, but still enough to be behind. Redford still leading this group, and you have another battle here on the right side. That's Peasley, Cohen, Kirkman and Andrews again, I believe that would be. As they're coming up the hill, they're quite a bit back from these leaders. They're half a minute behind, but still going at it just as much. Not really much passing you can do though up here on the mountain, as we've seen before. As it goes a little bit wider, clips the curb, see what that will do for him, but still able to hold on to that position. Cohen gets right on his back though, so see what will happen here as we're coming back up the hill once more. See if he's going to be able to make a move. He's having a look out the outside. You don't really want to do it though. He gets high on the curb. If he gets wobbly and loses enough speed, he might be able to be brave enough to throw it up the outside, but I don't think he's going to do it just yet. It's still over 2.5 laps to go for these guys. Now definitely weird or differential lines coming down to the S's here, but still no moves being made. Ray Peasley still leading the way. Cohen having a big distance to the walls there to make sure nothing happens. As we have a 3 wide for Lee. Pattinson makes contact with Will Redford. He goes into the grass, but they're both going to be able to keep on going. Will Redford going to hold the lead and uses in the grass as well. Now they're going to be 2 by 2, almost 3 wide. Coming up into the last corner, there's going to be 4 wide as Miles puts it in the grass and makes up 4 positions. That was 3 actually. See what will happen here side by side with Simonson or Edwards, or Simon Edwards into the final corner. They're going to make contact again, but once more they're able to keep on going. How can they bounce off each other like this and not crash? Adam Miles going to lose out that position to Simon Edwards, and they're still within contact with the leaders here as we have 2 laps to go, but that could have ended in disaster for this entire group.
Yeah, honestly could have, and as soon as I saw Patterson going on the grass through the chase, I had to look away because I thought that was going to end up in disaster, but credit to those guys, they managed to get away with it, and 4 wide down into the final corner. I don't think I've ever seen that in the Monday Night Skippys around here, but yeah, credit to those guys, kept out of trouble as well. But all that battling has allowed Will Redford and Benny Simonson to pull away. It looks like Redford's got the run, and Simonson is ahead up to the cutting as we look at a replay of Patterson now and get it sideways through the chase, and always has a bit of contact with Hughes as well, and this is the point when they go 4 wide, and I'm amazed that they never had an accident.
Miles has 2 wheels in the grass there, does a good job to hold that car going straight. It was a bit of a misunderstanding there at the beginning of the chase. I think Will was staying a bit wider than expected from the car behind, but here they come again over the mountain. 2 laps to go. Benny Simonson is back in the lead. He's got Will Redford right on his tail. Then Pattinson is trying to catch back up, as well as Simon Edwards, but coming down onto Conrad Straight here in a little bit. They will catch right back up. Will Redford having a little bit of a look, but there's no time to make a move here still. High on the curb for Will Redford, and the way this is going, I wouldn't be surprised to see a pass attempt up here on the final lap, even though you're better off sitting in 2nd or 3rd coming onto that straightaway on the final lap, as Lee Hughes and Simon Edwards actually trades positions up there. Lee Hughes makes a move on Edwards, as Edwards looks to have had some sort of an issue, but now coming onto the straight, we'll have to see what's going to happen. Who is going to get the run? It's going to be 1 lap to go, this time by across the line. Will Redford is going to have a run on Benny Simonson. He will look to the outside. He's going to have the inside for the next corner though, so he is going to pull ahead and he will be clear. Is Pattinson going to be able to get close enough as well? They're 2 by 2 behind. Lee Hughes, Simon Edwards, Adam Miles is in there as well. He's going to pass Simon Edwards, so they're going to get a little bit closer, but they're going to be very spread out still coming onto the final lap here. So see if these guys can catch up, or if they decide to battle amongst themselves, as we for now have a 3-car race for the win between Will Redford, Benny Simonson and Ewan Pattinson, as we're going to take the white flag to start the final lap here at Bathurst.
Yep, there's a head through Muddy's corner now and heading across the line to start the last lap, and I thought Patterson was out of this in all honesty after having that issue, but he's managed to drag himself back into this battle for the win, and I think if Redford gets passed by these 2 guys, I think he might be in the box seat down that back straight heading down Conrad, because I think he could use that double slipstream to try and make a move and retake the lead, but as Simonson goes for the move now, I think that's a big mistake that he's made.
Pattinson is coming as well. Oh, he fakes him. He moves to the outside, or inside rather, coming into the next corner. They're going to be 3 wide coming down here. Pattinson going to have the preferred line there though on the inside, and he is going to take the lead. Simonson on the outside. Redford going in behind Pattinson, see if he can hold on to 2nd place. He will have the outside now coming up into the cutting. See what Simonson will do, but now Simonson is in 3rd. He is in possibly the best position coming onto the straight if he can stay this close to these 2. Now Will Redford has a look, but he backs in behind again, Pattinson there. So Simonson, what will he do? Will he be patient? Will he have enough to make a pass here? Will Redford block to save his life and get the win? Or will it be 3 wide? Anything can happen. This final straight here with that little king coming into the chase, it's so unpredictable that literally anything can happen. The guys behind, all they use Adam Miles and Simon Edwards, they are 1.2 seconds behind this lead group. They're getting slightly closer, but if nothing happens up here now coming down the S's, it's going to be between Pattinson, Redford and Simonson coming onto the straightaway, really close to the walls here. Pattinson goes a little bit wide. Redford can have a slightly different entry into the next bit of the assist, but he stays a bit ahead as we're on board now with Simonson right on the back of Redford. They both get in the wall. Simonson is going to lose out. Wonder if Redford can still have the momentum there to catch Pattinson, but that was unfortunate for Simonson, who's now going to have to go defensive. Here comes Redford though on Ewan Pattinson. He weaves back and forth across the track to make sure that he tries to break the draft. Here they come now, down to the chase. Right hand kink, where will he go? Pattinson moves left, Redford goes right. He's going to have the inside in the kink and then the outside for the next corner. They're going to be more contact. Up on the curb he goes. He's not going to be clear. Pattinson is going to be on the inside. They're super late on the brakes, both of them.
Contact.
Simonson and Hughes behind them, make contact and go in the grass. Here comes Simonson and Hughes behind, but Pattinson gets going. Who is going to take the win? Redford goes back onto the track. Ewan Pattinson is straight up into the lead. Here comes Adam Miles. He makes it dive for it, but he's going to have to settle for second. Coming around the last corner, it's going to be Ewan Pattinson winning the race, and who is going to be in second is Miles, Redford and Hughes, and they are going to finish in that exact order, and Edwards behind as well. And on the final lap, Benny Simonson had a bit of contact as well, which has dropped him down the order, and he is currently rolling onto pit lane here. So he is down to 12 for now, and that's going to get even worse as here comes more cars across the line. That's Stack, Owen and Peasley finishing in that exact order. Actually, they have not made it to the finish line yet. That was some other guys, as we get a replay here of Pattinson and Lee Hughes coming down the hill, as well as Will Redford and Pattinson, sorry, and that's Hughes behind as they make just drifts out a little bit wider. Pattinson sends Redford into the grass, and in the background there you can see our pole sitter sliding off into the grass, Benny Simonson, but he will finish the race in 12th. So coming into the final corner, Miles makes a dive, but he brakes as late as he can, and there is nothing he can do to get there, unfortunately for him. But Ewan Pattinson, what a drive, and even though he came out a little bit and made contact with Redford there, still great job to hold on to that car and get the win, as we're on board here with Simonson, who is behind all of this. Simon Edwards, sorry, and you see Simonson there get some contact as well, slides into the gravel and limps home. But again, Ewan Pattinson, what a drive from him to score yet another victory here for this season. That is actually, that is only his second victory. It was last season he had so many wins, but this year is only his second, as we're on board here with Simonson. Squeezes Lee Hughes there, goes slightly into the grass, then into the left hand where he goes high on the curb, and he just follows the guys in front. Lee Hughes is on the grass, comes back on and sends him into the gravel trap. So we got what we expected with some hard racing and the beating and banging at the end there, Ryan, but unfortunately not all of them made it to the finish line in one piece.
Yeah, Bathurst, it's just the nature of the track and of these cars as well. With it being so close, there's always bound to be contact, especially on the last lap. Everyone's going for the win, and no one wants to back out of it. But unfortunately, the win was decided in, I guess you could say, controversial circumstances. But again, Ewan Pattinson, he took another win to add to the one that he took last week, and yeah, I wonder if he can try and drag himself into championship contention. But nevertheless, it was a great race.
Definitely was. On board here with Will Redford as he goes across the grass and somehow manages to hold on to third. Now we're on board here as well with Adam Miles, who got up to second position. He is in fifth coming into the chicane here. You can see the car going off there. Will Redford, and then Lee Hughes smashing Simonson out of the way. Redford comes back on the track, and then Miles here goes around the outside, and then he cuts to the left to try and make a pass, but he's just a little bit too far behind. Does not want to run into him, but still holds on for a great second place finish here. Amazing drive there from Adam Miles. Just one step away from getting his first win, but I don't think that is too far away from him to get across the line and just pull over here as quickly as they can, almost run into each other. But the field has come across the line, so let's go through the full post-race results. Ewan Pattinson comes home with the win ahead of Adam Miles and Will Redford in third, Lee Hughes in fourth, and Simon Edwards comes home in fifth. Anthony P.M. Jones in sixth, Clark Williams in seventh, Ben Evans in eighth, George Mattock in ninth, and Andrew Baranowski catches the last position inside the top 10. And we got Seth Brown, Benny Simonson limps home in 12th, Dave Dowson 13th, Tony Stack in 14th, Ray Peasley in 15th, Peter Cohen in 16th, Dave Kirkman in 17th, Neil Andrews in 18th, Daniel Tufts in 19th, and Peter Parnell rounds out the top 20, and then we have league organizer Alan Patterson is his name in 21st, Tim Adcock 22nd, Mark Langford 23rd, Callum Barron 24th, Andrew Bertie 25th, Chris Kane 26th, Daniel Hunt 27th, Nathan Wade 28th, Christopher Miles in 29th, and David Clapham in 30th. And that is the rest of the results is up on your screen there. So first up, let's talk to Will Redford. That was quite an interesting battle there at the end, a little bit of a controversial incident. We see all you guys going across the little Bathurst jump there. Tell us about your race, Will.
Yeah, I've had really good pace here all week, so I was looking forward to this. I wanted to see what I could do, maybe turn around my run of bad luck that I've had, getting punted or just spinning myself. I had a really good quali. I felt like I got near the most I could have got out of the car. There was maybe another tenth, maybe 2 if I was on it, but I felt like I had a really good lap, which put me P3, which perfectly set me up to get into P2 at the turn 2. So that's what I tried to do, and you know, I think I either got there at turn 2 or I did it down the next straight. I got into P1. I can't quite remember. And then it was just a matter of trying to stay within first or within second, because if you're back in third, fourth, fifth, you don't have a chance to get a run and to pass on the straight. So that's really where I was trying to defend and try and stay. You know, working together with Benny, letting him past me, or going past Benny just to try and go quicker, see if we can break any of the toe. That was really the plan for me, just to be in second, coming onto the end of the straight so I could slingshot past into the win. Obviously, I was in the right place at the end. I'm not sure what happened to Benny, but coming down the straight, Ewan was weaving, trying to break the toe, but I still managed to get enough speed to go past. And then he just completely missed his brake marker or something and went straight into me at the chase, which pushed me off. It's a shame because I felt like I probably should have won that race. And then what kind of annoyed me was Ewan calling me an idiot for it. He tried to blame the accident that happened at that little kink 2 laps before on me, when I can't leave room for cars that are either side for me without sliding out. I think we all slid out into Ewan. But you know, what can you do? It's racing at the end of the day.
It is. We'll leave that up to the stewards to decide who is at fault with that, but still a great result coming home in 3rd position. So next week then we're heading to Mosport, the track that never stops turning. What's your hopes for that one?
I don't know. I'm not going to make any predictions. I'm just going to hope for the best.
Fair enough.
I've not had good luck there the past few races, so we'll see what happens.
Great. Anybody you want to send a shout out to?
Yeah, shout out to you guys for the broadcast, and yeah, shout out to Alan for doing the league, shout out to my sponsor Nest in the Woods, and shout out to you, Linus, for killing my dad in the trucks last night.
Yeah, I had some technical issues there, unfortunately. Happened again today, so I'm trying to figure it out. But that's for another day, so I'll send another apology over to him. Thank you for joining us, and hopefully we will see you in Victory Lane next week then.
Thanks, guys.
Next up we have Ryan with Simon.
Yep, Simon Edwards started 6th on the grid, finished in 5th, and he was pretty much involved for that, the battle for the win for most of the race. And Simon, it looked like a pretty tense race up there, but a whole load of fun.
Yeah, it was. It was good fun. I moved forward initially, up to 4th, I think, and then I got overconfident that I could do the outside run in T2. They taught me a lesson in that. I think I ended up 6th or 7th. And then I was just cruising for a little bit, just to see if any craziness happened. No craziness happened, so I started to try and move forward again, and it was really difficult. And then there was a bit of craziness in, was it lap 8? Lap 8, I think, at the end of lap 8, and I managed to get back into 4th, I think. And then I just took a stupid amount of speed into the dipper and destroyed my car on the wall. I don't know if you saw that. So yeah. I was just limping home.
Yeah, I was about to say, I was watching you at the time when that happened, and I thought I saw you have a little bit of contact, and yeah, I think apart from that, if it wasn't for that rather, I think you could have been right up there challenging for a podium position possibly, but still the 5th place around Bathurst, it's still a decent result at the end of the day, and I guess it's kind of just another good result to help in the championship.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's still Benny's to win. I know he had a few problems at the end there, but I think he's still got a top 10. Did he get a top 10? So yeah, it went as normal, crazy end to the Bathurst races. So it's a bit of a lottery. So yeah, but yeah, I'm still in the championship, but I'm just trying to have fun in the races. I was having fun in that race, even when it went backwards. I was still having fun.
And they're looking ahead to Mosport next week. It's a track that's regularly used in the Skippy, but it's one of those tracks that you never stop turning, and it seems to, from my experience anyway, it gives your arms a bit of a workout. Do you have the same view?
Yeah, it does. It's got a big straight as well, and it's good for the Skippy. And it's not too. It's a draft track, obviously down that long back straight, but it's not a bad draft track, if you know what I mean. You can still either get away from another car or you can defend, and it's good fun fighting at the end of the lap. So it's one of the better draft tracks. And you know, I was driving GPL. I remember it from GPL, so it's there embedded into my mind.
Good stuff. And before we let you go, Simon, anyone that you want to give a quick shout out or thank you to?
Yeah, I'll give a shout out to Alan. I think he finished the race this week. He didn't last one lap last week. So that's good. And my sponsor, Massonaut, as well.
Great stuff. Well, again, congratulations on 5th place, Simon, and we'll look forward to see you on track at Mosport next week.
Then we have Andrew Baranowski. Enjoyed quite a good battle there through the race for the back end of the top 10 with Mattock Brown, and the likes ended up in P number 10, so a top 10 finish for you. Tell us about your race.
Yeah, ended up in the middle of that little group there, but I have to say it was a fantastic battle with George and Seth, both really respectful of all our space, and we tried our best to draft our way forwards, but unfortunately didn't really make any progress.
So you started right next to Mattock and finished right behind him, so you must have had quite a battle there. Actually, Seth Brown as well, driving up those few positions that you did and finishing as high as you did. But how much did you work together, and how much did you actually just race each other?
We did do our best to work together, but I think there was, I think George said anyway, there was quite a big group of guys in front, so they unfortunately just kept pulling away. But I think I might have just had the edge over George over the mountain, and then he had the better of me in the first sector, so we did try and work to our strengths with that, but I guess we'll see what he says.
Well, at least you gained some positions, so that's good. Next week then at Mosport, any hopes for that track, or any good experiences?
Yeah, that was my first experience of that last season that we did it. I think it's a really good fun track. There's a couple of corners to watch out for, but yeah, I think it's I'm going to enjoy that one for sure. A little bit shorter than Bathurst as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it's quite a bit shorter actually, so a bit more intense as well, I would say. Anybody you want to send a shout out to before we let you go?
Big up to Seth again, and also to Adam Miles for a really good result there.
Great, thank you for that. And then we have Ryan with George Mattock.
Yeah, George Mattock, he started 16th and made good progress to finish in 9th in the end, gaining some positions after that incident on the last lap up at the front. But George, another top 10 result. It's you seem to be having a good run of form at the moment.
Yeah, it was. Firstly, I'm just going to echo what Andrew said. We had a little chat in the team speak just now. We had a great battle, and yeah, it was pretty lonely race apart from us three, Andrew, myself, and Seth behind. It was really frustrating because I think it was Nathan had a bit of contact with somebody literally just in front of me at turn 2, I believe, and had to come off the throttle there, and we were so close to crashing there, so I lost loads of time there. Once I got past, I think the gap was like 2 seconds to the pack in front, and then I think Nick had a moment as well, maybe at the dipper. I think he had a moment, and then that was very, very close to all of us piling into him. Luckily myself, Andrew, and Seth managed to just see him just in time, but that was too close. Yeah, it was just trying to slipstream each other and get closer. But like I said to Andrew earlier, I think the guys in front were a pack of 5 or 6, and they were just getting 6 times the slipstream. So, but P9 from, where did I start? 16, 17, something like that. It was, yeah, I'll take that.
And you talk about being, being in a slipstream battle, or basically a slipstream pack for most of the race. But Bathurst, what's your mindset or strategy when it comes to racing here? Is it kind of you've got to get by people as quickly as possible, or is it kind of just let the race pan out and see how it goes, and then when it gets to, say, the final couple of laps or last lap, just basically go for it?
Yeah, exactly. It's a similar theme with the Skippys. Not that I'm an expert, I've only been doing it a matter of weeks, but from what I understand, the car is so drafty, there's no point in trying to fight somebody. You'll lose times, and you'll just lose the guys in front, so you may as well try and work together. And then, like you said, the last lap or so, and me and Andrew were trading places every lap, pretty much every straight, and I think it got to the end of lap 9, end of lap 8, and it started lap 9, and I was like, if I go for a move now, he's just going to sit behind me and slipstream me. So I did exactly that. I just stayed behind him. I could have gone past him easily in the draft, but I stayed behind. Managed to keep Seth behind as well, and just drafted him to the line. And it was very close at the chicane. But yeah, the game plan was just trying to keep it clean, and I knew there was going to be some shenanigans at the front. And Nathan had in the middle of the pack, in the middle of the race, Nathan had a massive crash right in front of me as well. So yeah, it was just trying to keep it clean. It was a bit chaotic, but yeah, P9's not too bad.
And lastly, heading into Motorsport next week, is it a track you've got much experience with, or is it a first time for you?
First time track, never driven it. I think I've watched about 3 laps there in the Porsche Esports Super Cup. So yeah, gonna have to learn that one from scratch. I learned Bathurst pretty much from scratch today. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. I haven't actually looked at the track layout. I can't tell you what I think of the track because I haven't looked at it. But yeah, that'll be another one where I'm just trying to get as high as possible and hopefully have some more pace, because I didn't have amazing pace today, but I felt like I could have got a little bit higher maybe.
Good stuff. And lastly, before we let you go, George, I've asked you this before, but anyone you want to give a shout out to?
Shout out to you guys, of course, for the broadcast. Shout out to Alan as well. Shout out to Andrew as well, and shout out to Vekin as well.
Good stuff. Well, again, congratulations on another top 10 finish, George, and finishing in P9. And hopefully we'll see you back in the top 10 next week at Motorsport.
Cheers, guys. Take care.
Big thank you to all our interviewees for joining us here today. So let's have a quick look at the championship standings after 9 rounds. It's Benny Simonson still leading the way now, 298 points, 22 points ahead of Leus, with Simon Edwards in 3rd, Adam Miles in 4th, and Ewan Pattinson in 5th. And then the battle from 6th on back is still really close, and 3 races to go with 2 drop weeks. It's still wide open for any of those top guys to win the championship. Next week then, we are heading into Mosport, or Canadian Tire Motorsport Park as you might know it by. It's in Toronto, Canada, or just outside Toronto we should say, but that is next week's action, so we'll have to see what happens, and hopefully it'll be another one just like the one we had today, so you will not want to miss that. But that is in 1 week's time here on RaceSpotTV. You've been watching the UK&I Monday Night Skippys in support of the Calm Zone, so make sure to tune in with us next week in Canada, as you will not want to miss that. Until then, take care everybody, stay safe, and goodbye.